Alright, dear viewers, we have returned for ARC NASCAR Heat Cup Series racing. And tonight we go racing at the good old Triangle. Pocono Speedway, Raceway. It's literally on my screen, and I still got it wrong. Pocono 175, because we clearly couldn't think of a better name. And as I glanced down at the stream that took a second to get up, that I have to look at to understand information, basically. Jackson Altman will be our pole sitter. Not currently looking at third or second, but I'm seeing third as Thomas Taylor. Very scrambled starting grid compared to what I'm kind of used to, I guess. Second is Jackson Tate. So Jackson and Jackson will be on the front row tonight, as my tablet rotates unwillingly. And they have just begun the proper race. So I shall then join them. So that's how this works. And I guess we'll quickly look at the starting grid here anyway. We do have a couple of drivers making, well, certainly not their first appearance, but their first one in a while anyway. Yeah, the Jackson and Jackson show on the front row. Thomas Taylor and Marcus Snow on the second row. And Alex Heredia is fifth. Where's sixth? Oh, Jojo Heitzman. That doesn't surprise me. We shall load into our Pocono 175. Don't be fooled by the logo on the screen. We're not doing 350 miles of this. That would take 4 hours. And that is 4 hours that we don't necessarily want to use. And perfect timing, we are coming to the green flag. Oh my god, we are getting right into things. Alright, we are green from Pocono. And there was absolutely zero time wasted there on that loading screen. Altman will be clear into the first corner, and kind of looking a little ways behind him here. It seems everything is pretty clean heading throughout. Up towards the dreaded tunnel turn, they're 3x3 in the sort of back part of the field, or mid part. That's absolute chaos. Excuse me, but we all just about manage, it looks like. Car is almost as much as 4 wide in the back. And Altman's taking a bit of an interesting line there. He's cutting down on exit though, so he's going to get a pretty good run out. But I think Jackson Tate got a better one. We'll have to see. Heredia got a good start. He's up to third already, and he's, well, everybody else is in a train, so it's, it's pretty easy to just sort of tell. Marcus Snow is a bit offline, but this just looks like a plate track with extra steps right at the moment. Somebody got loose, and that caused a bit of a stack-up back there. I think it might have been Luke Allen that was loose. Either that or he was the first person to react to somebody else, but I think he was the one. It just did get loose. Already cuts to the inside of Tate, having to escape the normal track boundaries to do so. Luckily this isn't Dega, so the yellow line doesn't matter. But he will be outdone on the way through turn 3. Here comes Thomas Taylor by way of response, trying to get back to where he started. And have a good run down the back straight himself. Are we 4 abreast at the moment? Oh, we certainly are. That'll shuffle itself out. Thomas Taylor is going to be in second place, and he's going to all but push Altman into turn 1. But he will be able to stay there, and he's got a good run out of 1, actually 2 good, and he just runs straight into the back. We're playing bin ball, and around goes the 2 car. Oh, that's a brutal spin, but it looks like, oh, almost everybody managed to avoid it. I think that was the 34 car that didn't. The 34 car didn't spin. We're 4 wide heading through the tunnel turn, or is this, no, that is the tunnel turn, yeah. Everything is just spreading out. There's just utter chaos all over the track. The 2 cars' demise has just thrown everything into disarray. And now it just looks like straight up pack racing while the 6 and the 1 car Michael Greathouse just comes out of nowhere. Oh, the 51 has just been rotated in the background. And the 22 gets collected with him, I believe. So that might be enough to necessitate a caution. It is. And yeah, I mean, 3 cars spun. I shall use this time now to actually bring up my roster, because I may or may not have forgotten a couple of names. I'm very professional. I say that. Professional commentators would have the names on their screens. They would also have the leaderboard to look at. So I don't really know if I can even use that as a valid term. Like, oh, I'm not professional. I mean, no, but also, like, I'm an unprofessional commentator, but with very unprofessional tools at my disposal as well, so... The 34 was James McDowell. I should have remembered that. It's the same last name as the actual guy. Anywho, now that I have all of my my minimal information at my disposal, everybody, it seems, is intent on pitting here. Probably because tire wear can be a little bit scary here, and even if it's not, I'm sure a lot of cars got some amount of aero damage at least, because there was a lot of pinball being played up and down the field those first couple of laps. Fidel, how are you here? You're supposed to be racing. You're somewhere here. Where the heck? You qualified 7th? Alright then. I did not expect that. Dude has not raced on Heat 5 in like months, and he just qualified as 7th. This is his home track, so that's why he's here in the first place. Same with Matthew Stotts, I believe, in the 9 car. He did not qualify quite so well. He's 12th. Mike Greathouse has had the race start to remember here. After starting, I believe, 11th or 10th place, he is now leading the race coming out of the pits here. And the choose cone is on the back straightaway, so... I couldn't tell you exactly how it works. I want to say it's not my job to pay attention. It kind of is, just because I don't have to follow the rule, but... It's using the dotted line on the bottom. Inside of that is inside on the race restart. That's we're a little bit spread out at the moment. I don't think we're going this time, I reckon. And the choose cone has moved some things around. It has put Jojo Heitzman on the inside row. Interestingly enough, Greathouse chose the outside for the restart. We're almost bunched up. The restart zone is a fair ways down the front stretch, so we might be going green right here. Pull up to the Geico restart zone, and I think, yes, we are gaining speed. We are back green from the triangle that is Pocono. I was quite surprised that we managed to all get organized right there. Heading down into turn 1, Heitzman just moved to the top lane behind the 1 car, so he sort of just abstained, I suppose is the best word I can think of. He was fine with not going for the lead. He would rather just stay there for the moment. Matthew Stotts does have... he didn't have the best starting spot, but he is in, or is currently at least, in the top 5. Oh, more bumpers. Aren't even bumpers, just pinball. Top 4, 2x2 into turn 3, and then it is more madness behind them. Jojo Heitzman possibly to the race lead through turn 3. And he will clear the 1 car. I see more chaos in the background. Deshaun Davidson once again granting me granting an onboard stream that I can look at for added information, because I definitely need that. Now, Greathouse is on his own on the outside lane. He's going to get passed by Heredia and Altman, potentially. That is the most cursed thing I've seen in a minute. The 9 car and the 11 car. It's cursed both in multiple levels, but I was more thinking of it's Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott cooperating. That does not happen. But it's Matthew Stotts and Jackson Tate cooperating, which is a little more likely, I would say. And they've brought themselves back into the fight for the lead. And they've also dragged seemingly everybody else with them, it seems. That was redundant right here. Everybody's still pretty much right here in this field, although there is a breakaway at the front. Our two normal suspects of Heitzman and Altman. What? No. It's because Altman was on my screen. Heitzman and Heredia are attempting to break away, and they're doing a pretty solid job at it at the moment. Probably close, just shy of 2 seconds already, advantage over Altman in third. Call it like 1.6, I would say. And worth mentioning at about this juncture that the stage breaks are at laps 18 and 36 respectively. So the end of stage 2 will be exactly at the halfway mark of the race, which is 70 laps. Out of those, though, we have only completed, 8. So we're not even close to done with stage 1 yet. Despite a really good startifying. It's Rikerism for you. A good starting spot. Oh, there's chaos. It seems to happen a lot. Somebody either gets loose or bounces off the outside wall on the exit of a turn, and they happen to do it while they're next to somebody, and they just nearly slam dunk a car. That's happened a lot of times already, and we're only 8 laps through the race. Wow, Stotts is up to third, but he's got quite a distance to cover if he's going to get up to those front two. He would, in theory, have the numbers advantage. He's got 3 cars with him in his group. But that doesn't mean as much at Pocono as it does at, say, Talladega. AJ Knickel is also coming through the field. He, I believe he may have been involved in something or just had a really bad qualifying spot. Oh no, he did have a bad spot. He started 14th. But he's clawed his way up to 7th as we speak. And he and his troop here are working on getting up to those front 4. Not those front 4. The 4 that are ahead of them. And considering that they're currently trying to decide who goes where, Matthew Stotts has been pushed back to 6th as I spoke. And now Greathouse is leading the train. They just can't settle things, and that's allowed AJ to Knickel. AJ to Knickel has reconnected with this group, and now it is pretty much like a 15-car train again. And guess what? That doesn't help any of them, because that's way too many cars in one train, and there's going to be battles up and down it, which is good for the commentator, but it's not good for them. And it's also really good for the 6 and the 20, who are continuing to get further ahead. That's got to be at least a 3-second lead now. Tanner Waskovich down the inside of AJ Knickel for 7th. Yeah, this is what I mean. Now they're like 3 wide again. They're all battling amongst themselves. Those two are just gonna go away. They're never gonna be seen or heard from again. What is going on there? Where are Greathouse and Waskovich going? He just crossed the victory lane to do something. I don't know what he did there or why. Jackson Tate has pulled into 3rd and is pretty much on his own at the moment. Matthew Stotts isn't really getting a slipstream off him. Not yet, anyway, but he is going to get a considerable speed boost as the whole field is about to get to him. Also, at some point, Heredia passed Heitzman. The 6 now leads. I didn't necessarily think to look at it, because I just thought they were just going to ride and pull away. Maybe that's still the goal, but they just switched places because of a mistake on Heitzman's part or something. Jake, he's thinking about going down the inside of the 24. He doesn't quite do it. He does know that if they are going to get up to those top 2, or at the very least absorb Jackson Tate back into their ranks, premature overtaking isn't the way. Oh, I think AJ just got loose there. Or bumper hooked. Either way, that's not the ideal line into turn 1 at all, and that's probably going to lose him some spots. You see Luke Allen, who's making a sudden appearance near the front of the field. He's been there the whole time. It's kind of hard to miss that that 7 car has been in the train. He just hasn't really been, like, I guess a threat to be near the front of it. He's just kind of been there. There are 3 wide behind AJ, among others, and we have a caution, I believe. For what reason, I'm uncertain, but there is a caution. Which will just erase what the 6 and the 20 have done. Except they're still going full speed. Okay, no, I'm dumb. There is no caution. I just got thrown off because of the noise the engines were making getting quieter. They were going really slow into turn 1, and the engines got really low, and I thought they were slowing down. .51 is taking a new line. Get a bit of grass in his shoes. Matthew Stott, I think, hit the outside wall that completely blocked off everybody else behind him. Luke Allen, he wanted to go down the inside, but he could not make the momentum. He'll get some back on exit. Oh, Altman and Marcus Snow, I think, got hooked together there. Those 2 are in a race of their own at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. As is Jackson Tate at this point. He's about a second and a half away from the next car. And that's just Knickel and Usman working in tandem to try and get up to him. Time is sort of running low for that, though. As you cross here, we're looking at, what is that number? 15 laps into the stage, 55 to go, so in about 2 or 3 laps' time, the stage will come to an end, and, well, erase the 6 and the 20's distance between everybody else, to say the least. Wow. Greathouse is not having a great stage, to say the least. He was the leader at some point, as Matakensky and Dalton Drummonds, that's his name, almost crashed through the tunnel turn. Should I have had the drink while I was in the middle of the stage break? Probably, but not exactly full of great ideas very often. I think we're basically just kind of waiting on the end of the stage here, more or less. That's all there really is to it now. I believe that we might see a battle for the stage win, though, assuming it's not about to end right here. Heitzman may look for more. He was complacent at the start of the race, but he may not be complacent now. He's going all the way to the bottom to try and get the run on his opponent, so he is definitely going for it in what should be the last lap of stage 1. He is going to get it. Does Alex Heredia have a response? He looks like he will have a better run through 1, but turn 2 isn't the best passing spot. He's better off just backing off again. Heitzman all the way below the yellow line in defense. Kind of got the Kyle Busch defense going. I believe that was Kyle Busch that did that. Heitzman kicked up a bit of dirt through turn 2. That's lost him some time. Heredia administers side draft. Tries around the outside. We could be looking at a drag race to the start-finish line right here. But I think the 20 has this. That is really close, but it goes to JoJo. I believe. Yes, JoJo Heitzman wins stage 1, followed very closely by Alex Heredia. Tate, Usman, Knickel, Thomas Taylor, I believe, would be 6th. And then Luke Allen, or no, Marcus Snow, and then Luke Allen. And then I don't know who was behind them. Like possibly Blaskovich and whoever's behind him. I can't think is it the 3 of Matakansky? Nope. McDowell has had a problem. He has retired the car. Definitely a stage 1 to forget for Jackson Altman. As the pole sitter and leading a couple of laps, to find himself, I don't even think in the top 15 right now, is probably not great. Not fantastic for the 43 car. And while pit cycles go through, I need to pull my nose. I'm coughing the rest of the stream. Alright, that didn't work. Oh, I just feel like I got more stuffed in my nose. There's more congestion there than there was before I tried to get rid of the congestion. Go figure, right? And we'll see who can win the race off pit road. It is largely RNG, but it's still something. Yeah, it was indeed Matakansky 10th. I did indeed get that right. I mean, there's only one orange car here. It's pretty much the status quo. The only big difference, I think Thomas Taylor just got out ahead of AJ, and then Matakansky got out ahead of Waskovich. And that's a real tongue twister of a battle between those two cars. Calling a battle between the 22 and the 3 in racing speed would be an absolute mess for me, I can assure you, because those are two very long, confusing names for me. And they shouldn't be, because they're pretty, Norwegian-esque Scandinavian names, and I'm from Minnesota. That's not far off my grandma and grandpa's last name. Neither one of them are, but my brain just looks at all of those consonants and just shuts down. Maybe she was kind of a bit late, I would say. I think I was supposed to be on the back stretch, but maybe it wasn't. Who knows, honestly. Probably couldn't do it sooner because of the lack of people grouped up, but they were there, so. The neck just cracked like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, no, you can't go down there, Thomas. The game thinks you're cutting down there for some reason. Learned that the hard way once. He is allowed to return to where he started, and are we green? Oh yeah, no, we're green. We're flooring it. We're green for stage 2 from Pocono. I couldn't even tell. the sense of speed in the broadcast camera is non-existent, so I couldn't even tell that they were gaining speed. Heitzman clears through turn 1. I wonder if we'll see him and Heredia work together again to try and break away, or if they'll have another tag-along or two, perhaps. Obviously, no one's getting away from anybody right now. Way too early to try that. But Alex is definitely glued to that back bumper. He's going to be seeing the word DeWalt in his nightmares tonight, I reckon. And I'm sure JoJo will be doing the same with color generators. But, you've also got Jackson Tate. He is sticking with them, but we are having what looks to be another slight breakaway. Usman just doesn't seem to have straight line speed or something, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it's not like we have like downforce settings or gear ratios to worry about. We just, I don't know. Again, as usual, typical turn 1 Pocono chaos in the background. Can't really get the camera on it though, due to just the way that the driver list is. With the 6 having to go defensive there, he does keep the 11 at bay though, so nothing doing there. Yeah, it's kind of resorted back to what it was before. I mean, we have 2x2 in the mid-pack, but at least near the front where it really matters, it's just single file. Except Thomas Taylor, who's alongside 24 at the moment. And Marcus Snow with a really big run. He's going to try and... Excuse me. Oh, there's a battle for the lead. Heredia is going for the lead against the 20, but he's going to not do that. He realized that wasn't going to work. So now as the 8 pushing the 2, Thomas Taylor got ahead of many cars with that move, and Usman just got shuffled back. I just have to wonder, I don't remember Pocono being basically another plate track with sharper turns. Has it really always been like this? I wouldn't know. I'm usually too busy crashing to find out for myself, because I just suck here even more than I do anywhere else. Oh, I was a bit of understeer. The 8 car got very tight and just about ran the 2 into the wall. And that's going to lose both of them time. That's going to lose everybody time, really. AJ will emerge ahead of the group, as well as Luke Allen, now leading the charge, but kind of fruitless at this point, considering how far ahead the top 3 already are, and they're only going to get further ahead as this progresses, because, I mean, look at this crap. As Matthew Stotts nearly sends Matikansky to the next dimension, or by that I mean the pit wall. AJ definitively pulls into 5th place, excuse me. Forgot the Tate's up there. Now they're like, oh, just the 6 and the 20 again. No, there's somebody else there. Heredia did take the lead. He did eventually get it away from JoJo. Oh, I should have grabbed water before this. What was I doing? Well, not grabbing water, obviously, but... Unfortunately, I don't really have the time to go up and get any either, because cautions have been pretty short here. Oh, around goes the 15. There's chaos in the background. I can't really look at it. The 43 is involved. Oh my word, the 27 did not break. And that's more what I'm used to seeing, honestly, from Pocono. Especially as a former driver of the 43 myself. The 15 was involved, I believe. I saw the 22 in there. Yep, there he is in the background, unless that's 34. It is a 34. Okay, so I thought he was out of the race. I just happened to look at him when he was pitting, so I thought he had retired either due to some kind of problem or just due to leaving on his own accord or maybe lagging out or something. But no, I just happened to look in the 20 seconds he was stopped in the box and thought he was out of the race. Whoops. Now, you'll just have to bear with me here. I can't seem to stop clearing my throat. I did not drink enough water before or during the stream, so. Yeah, as good as it might taste, orange soda, not very good with clearing your throat out. So I guess I'll just suffer. And hope it doesn't deteriorate the quality of the broadcast too much, but unfortunately I fear that it might. And look back up towards the front cars and see if we have any kind of dramatic change. Where are the front cars? There we go. Do we have any sort of dramatic change of things here? The 8 cars trying to leave. Well, it has not been the pit stop for Heitzman, who loses third place. He lost second to Jackson Tate and third to Luke Allen. There we go. I got the words out eventually. AJ with, well, I mean, I guess you can merge that way for under yellow, but you're supposed to wait until the exit of turn 1 to do that. Normally. Things just going from bad to worse for our pole sitter. He's not even last place, in spite of the fact that he literally just got uppercutted to the moon a second ago. But, oh, I think somebody just disconnected. Whether they actually disconnected or if the broadcast just tells me so, but Matthew Stotts has just suddenly become part of the pit lane, so I guess we'll have to find out if that's permanent or not. Greathouse and Altman are definitely the drivers who are struggling today. Greathouse is even represented by a less than stellar qualifying performance for his standards. But Altman even worse so, because he started on pole. And he still finds himself in, like, 16th, 17th, I think? And we should be green here. Everybody's sitting right here. So once Heredia, our leader, gets into the box, we will be back to green flag running from Pocono. And that was an awful start from Luke Allen. Jackson Tate will easily get to second. I think Luke might lose third as well to the 20 car. Oh yeah, for sure. He could be losing even more than that. The 7 car just did not do what he needed to do right there. And he could lose as many. Yeah, Musa's going to get ahead of him. Thomas Taylor might. I don't actually think so, but he could. Jojo Heitzman possibly to the race lead. He got the inside on the 6 car. Wrong way. Let's see how this transpires. Heading through turn 3. Heitzman later on the deceleration. I say braking. You don't really brake there. You brake at turn 1. And it looks like Jojo will get clear. He's not clear, as a matter of fact. And the 6 got a really good run, so we'll continue this duel towards T1. These two are putting on a show today, if nothing else. Usman this time is staying with them, as is, well, everybody else, now that I look at the, at a more panned-out camera. What is this notification? Nothing. Okay. I mean, it's something, but it's not relevant. Oh, Tate's going 3 wide. Let me get the furthest camera away from the action. Oh, contact! Through goes Heitzman as Tate smacks into Heredia on the exit of 2. Somebody was trying to hit the emergency service cars in the infield down there. What are we looking at behind the 20 here? That looks like a... That's how I, like, arrange my Hot Wheels cars behind him. When I used to, like, race them around the pool table or something. What is going on? They're 4 wide in the middle? Uh-oh. Oh, what a save from the 6 car. I couldn't tell if he was how loose he actually was, but that certainly looked like that was a destroyed 6 car to me. And the dead man lives, so... He may or may not be the Undertaker given NASCAR form. I don't think so, but it'd be funny to imagine. Luke Allen finds himself back in second. Oh, that was a big wiggle. The 6 car's handling is wrong at the moment. And he is disconnected, possibly. That is a big loss, if so. There's chaos. Knickel is around. I don't... Where... running order. Knickel was around there. I know that much. All started from the 6 car. I guess not even getting loose. He just straight up disconnected from the race. And with that is another caution. I don't know why it took me so long to process that, but yeah, that is indeed a caution. And yeah, and this time I can confirm that we have had 2 disconnects. It's not like Richmond, where the game told me that Laskovich disconnected when he actually hadn't, but looking at Deshaun's screen, we do indeed have 2 cars not in the race. Frederick is the last car on track. And Alex Heredia is 19th, along with presumably Matthew Stotts in the empty 20th position. I don't care, Galaxy Store. Go away. It's probably not even an app I use. I would look at the lap count, but we're not going to pass the start-finish line. No, at least not in a way that it actually will show up on the screen like, oh, you have this number of laps remaining, because they'll be in the pit lane. So, that's not ideal. I have no idea what lap we're on. Unless Deshaun were to switch his HUD, but he's showing the leaderboard, which I guess was helpful in its own right to confirm that the 6 disconnected. But we'll have another pit cycle here. Another chance for me to try and deal with all of my nasal contents, so bear with me here. Oh, I can breathe. Hallelujah in the triangular sanctuary. Heitzman will once again win the race off pit road. It's pretty hard to see anything dramatically change on a pit stop in this game. It's not like real life. Even if the pit stop times are like a half a second apart, sometimes I've still seen it where the slower pit stop still gets out ahead just based off of nonsense, really. Fidel Fabian has moved back into the top 5 for the moment on this pit cycle. And the 96th. I'm just dumb. And he will not be getting any more positions either, as he is choosing the high lane, and it's pretty much an alternating pattern up ahead, so... He might be green here. It's a little bit sketchy in the back of the field, though, so I don't know. Dalton Drummond is also in 7th. 77's 7th place. Yeah, we're gaining speed. We're back to green from Pocono for the, I think, 4th or 5th time. And as you look at the lap number here, as I saw on the broadcast, the other stream, the 41 had a really bad start. Really bad. The 2 shoots to the outside of the 20. Thomas Taylor is looking for the race lead, as I think I just saw we have 3 laps to go in the stage. What's happened now? Oh, was that just a waved off start? Are we calling this the end of the stage then, or are we just going to bunch it up for a 2-lap dash? Huh? I think we might have just realized that was supposed to be the end of the stage. That's my guess. I didn't see anything except the 41 get a bad start, and 1 car would not be enough on its own for a caution unless he hit something else, and Scotty, as far as I'm aware, didn't. But I do believe that this will end the stage, and we have a mix of cars going in and staying out. Thomas Taylor leads the group of staying out cars, so he will... No, okay, the camera just betrayed me there. Jojo does. This has certainly been a very, very different race compared to what we've gotten in the last couple of rounds. Lots of yellows, while Auto Club and Richmond really didn't have all that many. But Pocono is definitely proving to be appropriately tricky. We're doubling up like this. I think we're going green, though, here. So, we shall see. Laskovich is not quite here, but it looks like just about everyone else is. Where is the 20? There it is. And he will be getting here. He'll be getting a Kyle Busch restart, basically. And into the restart zone, we are green for, I think, the 5th time from Pocono. And we'll see where this one goes. Luke Allen, again, is caught sleeping on the start. Not quite as badly this time, but he is going to be probably overtaken by Taylor into turn 1. It's shaping up that way. Taylor even got his splitter in on Heitzman, but he gets no further. They're 3 wide on exit there for 4th place. No, 5th place. I didn't notice. How did I miss the rainbow car? I'm a person of all time. Yeah. Through the tunnel turn. Some people bouncing off that outside wall. The 7 car is spinning. Oh, there's more chaos. The tunnel turn bottlenecks another group of cars, and we have just more destruction. And if that wasn't the end of the stage of the previous caution, this one is. I think it was the end before, though, so... I believe our 6th caution of the night, 4th for incidents, since we've had a caution for the stages as well. Might even be 5th, actually. Because this is, I think this is, one of them was both the stage break and an incident, so... Oh, I see Luke Allen is making his feelings known to somebody. I think he just drove up and gave somebody a bit of a smackaroo. Couldn't tell who it was because of how far away the camera was, but it looked like it might have been like the 43 or something. You're not supposed to do that, by the way, just in case you're not aware, that's a penalty. Some admin doing that. What is Tate doing? He's having some kind of problem down there. Another round of pit stops. And everybody's going in here. Now we had some cars stay out there. Jackson Tate will be alone. What? Alone on his own. Yes, that's what alone means. He's going to be all on his own out here. He's the only driver who opts to not make a pit stop at this juncture. Jojo will once again lead the pitting cars out of the pit lane, and the 27 is doing a little dance. Ugh. Thomas is going to get to second, though, using the juice cone rule. Starting from the inside, both lanes seem to be about even here. We've seen the outside prevail sometimes, sometimes not, so... Could go either way, I suppose, as to who will be leading into turn 1. Or out of turn 1, really. I may have the camera on the wrong car, right? Just because you're on the inside does not mean you're the leader. Oh my god, where's Jackson Tate? There we go. Looking for our 6th restart of the day, I believe, or 7th. Jackson Tate gets the signal, and we are green once more from the tricky triangle. That was a decent start for Tate, but it's going to get undone from some really good pushing on the bottom lane. He's still going to be, I think, just about clear into 1, though. And indeed he will be. Jojo is able to even follow him ahead of the 2 car for the moment. They're almost 3 wide on exit for the lead. But Taylor's going to not do that. Let's see if we can make it through the tunnel turn this time, ladies and gentlemen. Or whatever else may be in between, although I think it's just gentlemen. And it looks like everyone has survived, so we might get some green flag running. They're four wide behind the in the back of the pack. Oh, somebody's been put somebody in the wall. Big contact made by the 34 and the 27. God, I wish the 34 looked a little different or something. Those two... Oh, the 7 gets walled by... I don't actually know if that was the 22 or 34. They looked like the same car! If only there were alternate paint schemes on this version. Like, yeah, if you get a different angle on it, you can clearly tell, oh, the number 22 is red, but the number 34, the number is black. But from far away, or from any angle where you can't see that number, those two might as well be the same car, and I hate it. Greathouse is making a bit of a recovery. He's back in near the top 5. Fidel Fabian is in the top 5 at the moment. A bit of a touch between the 77 and 78. Looking at the onboard of the 78, it seems one was sliding up, one moved down. So, not really anything you can really say or do there. This is getting so tiresome. Where are they? God. Now it is Tate and Heitzman attempting to get away from the rest of the field. The 6 of Heredia is gone, so it's just down to these two 44R teammates to try and do teammate things. Deshaun Davis really in the wall. He actually just got put into it by somebody. I looked down on his stream, but I couldn't tell which car it was that got into him. Might have been the 3. Looks like that would add up, considering where 78 now is. It was the 3 or 27. It was something orange, and those are the only orange cars here. And our 2 leaders aren't quite home free. I think the 2 is just barely hanging on, though. He's not going to be there much longer. Unless the 43 and the whoever else is behind him really gets pushing. Oh yeah, I mean, he's got 3 cars, but we've seen time and time again that the numbers advantage doesn't seem to help here. Because it's literally just been whatever... If JoJo is in the top 3, he and whoever's around him are pulling away. That has been the constant theme of this entire race outside of yellow flags. So even though this is a 4-car group, I still feel like we're going to be seeing JoJo and Jackson get away. Or Tate, I should say. Especially if 2 of the 4 cars back here got loose in the same turn in the exact same way, that's not going to make them go any faster back here. They're battling for 7th or 8th behind this group as well. I could probably put the camera there, but I don't know who's in what or where. What is that? Ah, go back. That group 4 got really spread out towards turn 3 in that short shoot. Fidel Fabian looks to be shuffled to the back of it as the 2-car moves up a spot. Now to try and figure out who's in that group and look at one of them because they are also swapping places. Never mind, no they're not. Now that I finally found somebody in the group, oh, Laskovich down the inside of Usman gives him a little bump into turn 1. Knickel's going to make it 3 and try to take advantage. The 22 slides up into the 24. We're playing more pinball, but everybody keeps it on the road. Even if I'm sure the 24 is probably not exactly ecstatic about that. As he almost gets into it with the 3 car as well. Now it is Altman leading the charge in pursuit of the 2 Toyotas, but they're just not making up any time, any ground, anything. They're just not. And Greathouse is tired of waiting. The 43, I don't know if he was just getting out of the way or if he got loose there, but he is conceding, nonetheless. Maybe he's better at pushing, he thinks. Oh, my head is itching. That noise is, if that's picking up on the mic, because it usually is. The 1 and 2 car working together. Along with the 15 and 43, but that just, you know, there's no serendipity there. More changing lanes on the exit of 1. That traction there seems to be a commodity, to say the least. A rare one at that, I should specify. AJ is trying his darndest to get back up there to contest for 3rd, but he's just not getting the help he needs to get to them. Look down in the POV of the 78, we'll see what lap we're on here. I think we're in the 20s range. Yes, 25 to go from Pocono. We are almost 2/3 of the way through the event. About 10 laps into the final stage of the race. Altman's kind of at risk of losing this little mini train. Never mind, he had a really good turn 2, so he's back into it. But the fact that he was off pace for a little bit kind of allowed AJ to sneak up a little bit on them. 8 and 51 battling. That's about the only two of the only cars really too wide at the moment. Greathouse ducks for the pit lane. That is a very early stop. I don't think he'd have damage, so it isn't that. I'm not really sure what the situation down there at the one car's brain is. There really isn't a garage. Yeah, AJ is in the mix now, but it might be a little too late as Thomas Taylor is getting away the gap formed by the one car pitting. Fidel Fabian doesn't seem to be fast enough to just fill in. Front two are continuing to do their thing. I don't think that's going to be changing. That's the wrong car. I do kind of like this setup we got here. We got the leader, we got a upper mid-pack, and we've got a lower mid-pack. And then we've got the back. And we have disconnected. And then we have somebody who is on a different pit cycle. That makes this a little easier to manage. There's a train of 5 cars in the bottom lane. I think that was the 77 and the 18 both signaling their pit stops. 15 is in the wall. You would think he was pushed into it by the 22. He slides back down the track, getting into the 22 some more. Okay, no, that was not what that was. I don't know what they moved down for then, but that was still chaos. Oh, we're under caution. All right. Missed that again. But I think I can guess who was, considering the 24 is all the way back here. And he was not back there before. So I believe that this is a big deal for the one car. I don't know if this is a big assistance or a big problem, though. I think it helps. Unless he pits again, in which case that's... Unless he has to pit again right here, in which case he's absolutely done for, but... If he doesn't have to... he'll be able to catch up to the field before they reach the pit lane here in a second. And if he doesn't have to pit, he'll drive around all of them. Call the 7th inning stretch, I guess. That's what I was just doing there. This would be more like the middle of the 6th inning, but nonetheless. We have passed 2/3 race distance. Now we'll see if the one car does what I think it will do. No, he does pit. Okay, so Mike Greathouse's race is just about over from this yellow. I expect to see JoJo off the pits first as per usual. No, he's not. Oh, the one car pit, but he didn't take something. I don't know if he took less fuel or took no tires, but he pit, but he still regains the race lead. I don't even know if I could say regains. I don't think he's had it much this race, but the one car will lead us off pit lane. And we'll see if he can lead us into the next lap or not. I mean, probably he'd probably lead us to the checkered flag, I'm sure, but baby steps, he has to lead a lap first. Oh, it's a quarter after. Thank God. The one will be in control of the restart as we head up towards the zone. And we are once more green from the tricky triangle. I feel like I've said that a lot today, so as I just generally have. And who will lead us into 1? It looks like it's basically a dead heat between the 1 and the 11 car. Still a dead heat, in fact. The 1 gets the better run off, though, and he's got a huge nudge from Heitzman, which is funny because his teammate's in the other lane. But the 20 and 43's power combined will get Greathouse straight to the lead. And Altman's trying for second on Heitzman, if I can find him on the driver list. Down the inside of the 20. Once again, anybody's game. AJ Knickel has rejoined the affairs here. Not with his teammates on the high lane, though, which is interesting. The 11 and 20 are his teammates, but he is currently supporting the Chevrolets that are on the inside lane. Well, now he's just stuck on the very bottom, 3 wide with the 2 and somebody else. Altman moves over, he's side drafting. They're 3 wide behind them. And AJ does clear that, so now it's just 2x2 back there. Greathouse still barely hanging on to the lead, but I don't Oh no, he's gonna be able to get clear of Altman again on the way to turn 3, so he will hold on to it a little longer. Tate gets clear for second, giving Greathouse continuing to move him forwards. As we look at 18 to go, so 1/4 of the race left remaining here. It's a long time to block for Greathouse, though. As Heitzman sneaks his bumper in on Altman. All the men's. But his runoff one is non-existent, in fact. He's getting side draft halfway to death by the 22 car. So that will be canceled. Top 4 all in the high lane. Heitzman trying to hang on for dear life. But he eventually concedes, so that'll put Laskovich in 4th. This is very much a shuffled order to what we've been seeing for the majority of the race. The second Heitzman isn't in the top 2. You got ourselves just an actual pack race. Nobody can get away. Oh, there's contact in the midfield. Marcus Snow nearly gets walled, but he manages to keep the car alive. And there are 3 Toyotas in this race, and they're all, I believe, in the top 5 at the moment. No, not quite. AJ's working on that. He's got to get ahead of the 22. And he's instead about to get passed by the 2 of Taylor. There we go. Remember the name. I don't know who I thought was in the 2. I think I almost just straight up said Kozlowski, which is not even correct. He's in the 6 car in this update. Now, AJ and JoJo picking different lanes to push. Very interesting. Altman is now hung out to dry. He's going to go down multiple spots with that one. He'll be demoted out of the top 5 from that, I believe. My dog has a meltdown. Probably heard the garage motion sensor go off. So, try and ignore that if it's getting picked up in the mic. It probably is, although my door's shut, so maybe not. The 77 with a very dramatic spin. He is around, though, but that's only a singular vehicle that caught some grass. A lot of grass, in fact. Tate's looking down the inside of Greathouse. This might be the move for the lead. And he's got both Toyotas in tow if AJ chooses to stay on the bottom lane. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And with that, Jackson Tate returns to the lead, and I can't help but notice that JoJo is back in second. Oh, but he's not waiting, and Tate almost just turns into him and chops him off. In fact, that was... From the replay camera, that looked like that was about to be a disaster, but there wasn't one. There's just something about the way that JoJo runs in less draft that just keeps causing these breakaways, and now even their team owner AJ will be lucky to stay in it, as they're already pulling ahead of him and everybody else. There's just something about the way that JoJo syncs up with the leader that just, I can't seem to imagine what it is. It's not quite a breakaway just yet. AJ is staying there, as is the 43 for the most part. So our front row sitters are in the top 4, but also so is the car that started this race in 14th. So, well, we'll just, I guess we'll have to see if the 20 can induce another breakaway at the front, or can Altman and Knickel stay there and make things more interesting. Greathouse is starting to sort of fade out a tiny bit. He's down to 5th already. And looking at the laps to go, that is 13 to go. So there's still a bit of time here in regulation, so to speak. The whole race is regulation, you dum-dum. But anyway, yeah, now we are just completely single file. I think everybody's just trying to stay in the draft. Nobody wants to take any risks, because the second you do, well, you risk falling out of the draft, and that's pretty much what's happening. We already now have, like, separate clusters of cars. Altman is going for third, which... Or no, they're just taking different lanes. I was gonna say, if Altman tries to pass AJ, they eliminate their chances to win. Because Tate and Heitzman are just going to drive away. And they already almost did that. The 41 up there is a lapper. That might be interesting, to say the least. Yep, Altman's fallen out of that, and I think AJ has as well, just because of one turn where they decided to take different lines from one another. Not helped by the fact that Tate might soon be getting a little bit of a toe of his own off of the back of Scotty in the 41. Although he is going to lose some time behind said 41 car. The 41 car nearly destroys Heitzman. Oh god. That'll help AJ get back into it, along with other people as well. Lap car knows his rights, but I don't know what else he knew there. Tate's got a bit of a breathing room, but not a ton. I think, yeah, AJ will still be getting some slipstream, and not a ton, but a little bit from there. Just looked down and saw that Davis is pitting. That's a scheduled stop by the looks of it. I didn't see how much fuel he had left, but it wasn't enough. He's refueling. So we could be looking at a green flag stop between here and the end, which we've yet to actually have any of those yet, since this race has been full of yellow flags, pretty much. I thought I heard a caution. No, that was just one car pitting. That was Heitzman pitting, in fact. Let's see if that the space between AJ and Tate can be filled, or the space between Knickel and Laskovich can be filled before we get to the end of the pit cycles, or we may just have another caution, because that's happened twice now already, where we've had a yellow mid-pit cycle. No, AJ's there with him now. Yeah, there's just... JoJo very clearly has the fastest car, but he's still... He's been using it this entire time just to work with the guy that's leading and sit in second. Very curious, but, I mean, it got him the Stage 1 win, I think, so... It's a proven strategy. He just needs to be in that general vicinity again once the pit cycles run out. And once he's put himself in the catbird seat, I'd be surprised if we don't see a Jojo Heitzman W at the end of the race, because he's, like I just said, very obviously had the fastest car. Fastest car. There's an S there, right here. We see any pit stops this time around? Or are these leaders saving to try and make it there without? And the one car on the caution count is ahead as a lapper, so interested to see what if this goes a little smoother than it did when we lapped Scotty before. Greathouse is in this bunch too. I thought he just kind of faded out, but no, he is still kind of hanging around. But you do have to wonder if JoJo's probably driving full speed. I don't know if these guys are. or if they're just waiting out for a caution, because, you know, history, statistically speaking, we've had so many of those today. One car broke off. I think that would be the one of Great House, so... Well, the 77 knows his rights, too. I don't know how much he's held up Tate there or not. I don't think it really matters, but now he's going to get out of the way on the back straightaway. So... not a huge thing. He couldn't get out of the way of everybody, though. I think somebody just spun trying to make it to the pit lane there. I couldn't tell who it was, though. It looked like it might have been... I don't know. Not enough for yellow, though. Two remaining Toyotas at the front. Tate and AJ have still yet to pit, and it doesn't seem like they've been driving that slowly. So I think they're just running the tank dry. I don't know. I'm not exactly a fuel saving expert, but it doesn't seem like they're going much slower than normal to me. Everything is super spread out right now, too, so I can't really even determine if there are, like, battles in other parts of the track. I just don't think so. I don't think there are enough people near each other in the same real estate for that to be happening at the moment. James McDowell ahead to be lapped, but not anymore as our two leaders make their way into the pit lane, along with Thomas Taylor. I think somebody did just stay out in that group, though. Yes, Waskevich is going an extra lap, or more, depending. So he is all on his lonesome out here. One thing to look for, where do the 11 and 18 return in regards to the 20? Things look relatively favorable for the 20. Never mind, I guess there was no merging rule. I thought there was, but no. He's going to rejoin right in the middle of them, no less. And I think that just might have secured our top three finishers here. Unless Waskevich just really gets a huge overcut. Jojo's going to push AJ away from the likes of Thomas Taylor and the 51 of DiMaggio, I believe that is. I think that's his name. I have a roster here. What am I doing? Oh, no, just Steven Maggio. There's no D. Indeed, we have the 344R cars in a train. There is the 22 of Waskevich, and he is not going to be a part of it. He's going to rejoin right behind his teammate in the 2. And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? Because we've gone from 44R dominating every race I've commentated on P-Cars 2 to a probable 1-2-3 finish for the team here from Pocono, unless things go completely wrong. It's just a matter of which one's going to get the win. the 11, the 18, or the 20. They're all taking slightly different lines, which is kind of interesting. AJ and Tate have not run the same line at all since the train reformed. Oh, we're only at 2 to go. I thought we had like 6. I just glanced down at Deshaun's stream to see the lap counter. There's only 2 to go. Which means that our leaders are only about a little ways away from the white flag. So we'll see if anybody goes for anything dramatic, or if they're just going to take their winnings and leave here. They're teammates, but they've had plenty of competition in the past, so I'd be very surprised if they just ran nose to tail for the last 2 miles or so here from the tricky triangle. And Jojo tried a higher line. It didn't really pay off. Yeah, we are indeed on the final lap. I didn't misread the number down there. Altman is out of gas by the looks of it, so his day just gets even worse. Oh, Tate has to block AJ, who got a really good run through tunnel turn, and Jojo's gonna try and peek his way down the outside of Knickel. Not gonna get anywhere though. Crossover from the 18 car. Oh, that's a wall tap. There's a slow car in the way. There's a drag race that I think AJ Knickel has just won the race from that move, that crossover attack on the 11. And yes, I do believe that is... I believe the 18 was the leader there. Be able to confirm once Davis crosses the line for his own 11th place here. Huh? What fuel strategy? Okay. Well, I thought that Luke Allen was a lapped car. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm getting worse at this, or I don't know how long I can really keep the leaderboard excuse going for, but no. The 18 of AJ Knickel did not win the race. That lap car, the slow car of Luke Allen, was actually the winner of the race, who fuel saved and presumably did not stop at all. And I just didn't even notice because he was never in shot. And because, you know, there's no leaderboard. So... Oh, it's right. Yeah, Luke did save. He has a clutch on his wheel, so he can do that. That's right. I feel like an idiot. It's the second time something like that's happened, but this is even worse because I called what I thought was the race for the win, and called the actual race winner a slow car. God. Darn it! But, my incompetence aside, and 704s, I'm not 100% to blame. I refuse to be fully to blame. Because it's not that hard to program a leaderboard. I've seen it in any other racing game except for this one. But, off the back of that mildly embarrassing moment, that will wrap things up for ARC. Here, the ARC NASCAR Heat Cup Series, the Pocono 175, comes to an end in, well, a more thrilling fashion than I thought. It was still a drag race. It's just, the only real mistake I made there was I didn't notice the 7 car wasn't a lap down, but was actually leading. And that is probably why the 44R cars didn't try a whole lot of passing, because they were pushing each other to get up to him in the closing minutes, and failed. But with that race in the books, must say to the sponsors, and thank you for their partnership. They are an integral part of the ARC racing community. DIVEBOMB Motorsport, our title sponsor and premier partner, a new media project tracking motorsports news, to SimLeague Pro, our league management sponsor / partner, SLP, SimLeaguePro.com, etc., is the tool we use to organize and schedule races, and recruit too sometimes, to SimWrap Markets, iRacing's marketplace of livery design templates at a professional level, to IMB Racewear, our sim racing apparel sponsor for sim racing gloves and other boots. Gloves, boots, and others, I mean. To the Racing Rats, our partners for Assetto Corsa mods, allowing our own Assetto Corsa 1 leagues to go smoothly. And lastly, to James McAdam Photography and AJ Knickel Design, our partners in photography and graphic design respectively, making our social media posts what they are. But that will do it from me for tonight's broadcast. I do not remember what the next track is. For some reason, part of me wants to say it is Talladega, but do not quote me on that. But whatever it is, be right here next week to sort of cover the action and probably completely misconstrue it, as I am apparently really good at doing. So here we are.